Cardinal Miguel Ayuso, Archbishop Chusak Sirisut, Excellencies, Venerable Sirs, Reverends, brothers and sisters, I'm here in capacity of a member of Supreme Sangha Council of Thailand and Vice President of the Mahajulalongkorn Rajavidyaya University Council, to express our thanks and gratitude to the organizer for choosing our university as the venue of the colloquium. And also would like to welcome you in a Buddhist style. There are two kinds of reception in Buddhism. One is a reception with gifts, food, and the other is a reception with Dhamma, with ideas. So I would like to share you in a kind of contribution my ideas, my views on agape and karuna for healing a wounded humanity and the earth. You have heard our friends on the stage talking of these two words, agape and karuna. Both the concepts are very central to Christianity and Buddhism. Whether these two concepts are equivalent or overlapping, I will show to you my ideas, my view. Because if we agree that these two concepts are very significant and somehow resemble and how to develop, how agape and karuna motivate our activities to help other people. This will be the platform for exchange of our views, of our dialogue, which is regarded as interfaith dialogue. So colloquium here is not just an academic pursuit for me. It is a part of cooperation. To pave the way for cooperation, we need interfaith dialogue. I have seen our friend from Islam, Hinduism, and Sikhism here. So it's time to share our views and contribute for the complete understanding of the concept of agape and karuna. So we would like you to contribute to the well-rounded interpretation and understanding of the agape and karuna. The aim of interfaith dialogue is to increase tolerance and cooperation. Tolerance is the foundation of coming together, peaceful coexistence. We tolerate the difference among us. According to the UNESCO principle of tolerance, the term tolerance is defined as mutual understanding, acceptance, and respect of the diversity of way of life, ideas and views. In spite of our differences, external differences, we have respect, acceptance for our friends. In our heart, we share the same value. These values, if we fight, will motivate our action to save the world, to heal our wound humanity, and to save the planet Earth. The value system in our mind is the cause for cooperation, working together. I have an experience to share to you that in the year 2019, I representing the Buddhist order in Thailand to participate in the Interfaith Conference at the Vatican. The theme is Religion and Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. I had opportunity to listen to the address given by Pope Francis and share my views on SDGs. In spite of 17 goals to be achieved in the year 2030, according to the UN, we focus on 5 P's. 17 goals summarized into 5 P's there. First is about people, humanity. The second one is economic prosperity. The third one is planet Earth. The foundation of the 3 P's is peace. Peace at the bottom. Without peace, people cannot live together happily. Without peace, you cannot talk about economic development. And without peace, you cannot preserve the planet Earth. So peace is a prerequisite. And how to achieve peace? The last final goal, partnership. We join hands with full understanding and cooperation. The way that we have come here. We aim at partnership, not just talk, to contribute for the success of SDG. When I mention this SDG because this is a positive approach to prevent the suffering of humanity and environmental degradation. If we succeed in a positive way, it means we help to heal our wound humanity at the same time. We combat global warming and climate change. See? Either you talk in terms of a positive approach, take a positive approach or negative approach to solve the problem, to eradicate suffering, to alleviate suffering of the humankind. We aim at the same goal. So we have to build up our cooperation to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. 3 P's. A wound humanity from the Buddhist perspective is you are quite familiar with the term dukkha, suffering. The fact of dukkha or suffering is a fact, it's a phenomenon, not to avoid, but we have to confront with. This state of suffering, pain, vulnerability is to deal with compassion, empathy, and understanding. To acknowledge the fact of suffering, the challenge that individuals, human beings, and the whole planet are facing. So that requires the values in our mind. If we share the values, we have concern for humanity and the planet Earth, we will come up to cooperate, to work together. Whether it is agape, karuna, metta, or whatever. From the Buddhist standpoint, the significance of compassion or karuna comes from the full development of human person to be a Buddha. The cardinal virtues of the Buddha consist of three values, three qualities, three mental qualities. For anyone to attain enlightenment and become a Buddha, that person will have a mind full of three virtues. Number one is panya, wisdom. Number two is karuna, compassion. Or number three is visuddhi, purity of mind. How to begin in practice? To purify your mind, you have to practice meditation, develop mental capacity of wisdom, realization of truth. Once you attain enlightenment, you liberate yourself from defilement, hatred, anger, illusion, ignorance. Your mind is full of wisdom. The Buddha is compared to a person who climbed up to the top of the mountain and looked down to the crowded people who struggle, who suffer. For a person who has attained liberation, he has mercy, he has sympathy for people in suffering. So he will come down to preach the Dhamma for 45 years to liberate people from suffering, elevate them, because his mind is full of compassion. So it doesn't mean that the enlightened person or the Buddha are just the one who is self-content so much that he ignored the different suffering state of people. No. His mind is full of compassion. So that's why he come out to save humanity. This is why compassion is very important. That's for the Buddha. What about the followers of the Buddha or ordinary people? We haven't attained the enlightenment. To reach the destination, to attain enlightenment, we have to develop our mind, to purify our mind by means of meditation. One kind of practice of meditation is called Brahma Vihara. To develop the four sublime states of mind to purify your mind and put your mind in four states. Number one is loving kindness, metta. Number two is karuna, compassion. Number three is gladness, and number four is equanimity. These four states of mind for ordinary people to live together in peace and full cooperation. First, you love your neighbors. You love your friend. That is metta. Once your loved one suffer, it motivate your kindness, your sympathy, compassion. If that person attain happiness, sustainable development, you congratulate that person. It's gladness, mudita, for the success of other people, not to be jealous, not to have envy for him. Equanimity, upekha, is required in the situation that you will not interfere with the business of the people. When parents see that your kids grown up, you have, as a baby, you love him or her. That is loving kindness, metta. If your baby suffer crying, it stimulates your compassion to rescue, to help him or her. If your baby grow up, get good education, meet a success in work, that is a time for gladness, congratulations. And if he just live our family, attend to his own business, not time to interfere. It's time for parents to have upekha, equanimity. So these are the four sublime states of mind that to be developed in ordinary people through meditation practice. And now I focus on two concepts, karuna and metta. First, I would like to talk about karuna, compassion. In our text, this is translation from Pali. The characteristic of compassion is to promote the removal of other suffering. Focus on the suffering state of other people, and you are not callous or ignore. You cannot be impatient bystander, a patient bystander. You rush to help other people in suffering state, in distress. That is compassion. So, the function of compassion in our mind, karuna, is not bearing other suffering. Your mind is moved. If you are callous, you have no mercy. You have no sympathy. You have no compassion. And compassion, when you have compassion in your mind, how you know that such and such person has compassion or karuna? Behavior shows that you are a person without violence. If you say that you have compassion in your mind and you harm other people, you hurt the feeling of others, it means you have no compassion. So it is it can be estimated. I can say that so far as you have compassion or karuna in your mind, you can never wage a war. You cannot kill other people. You cannot kill animals. You will be able to observe the 5 precepts, not to kill, not to steal, because you have compassion for others. If you steal, if you kill, there is no mercy, there is no compassion at all in your mind. It means if we want to usher in peace into the world, cultivate compassion and karuna in your mind. In a conflicting area. How to bring in, to cultivate compassion in your mind. The proximate cause of compassion is to be aware of helplessness in those overwhelmed by suffering. If you just close your eyes, close your ears, not to listen to the people in distress, not to see the people in suffering state, how can you feel compassion? Not compassionate, come by your imagination. I have heard about the concept of immersion of bishops, Christian leader. When you want to help the poor in the slum, you go to live with them to see how suffering state they are facing. In the same way, if you want to help the poor, you go to the rural area to face with the difficulty to see for yourself. So in conclusion, compassion refers to the mental quality of active sympathy for the suffering of all beings. Active. You cannot ignore. You cannot be callous. This compassion arises from awareness of the nature of suffering in all living beings, and you want to help them to help remove suffering of other people. 3 kinds of person relating to you: alert person, neutral person, and a hostile person. You have compassion for all of them. I quote, "He pervades all beings with compassion, without discrimination." So, how can we achieve that state of mind, compassion without discrimination, by practice concentration meditation? There are 2 kinds of meditation: concentration meditation and insight meditation. For development of compassion, we need to focus on the suffering state of other people, stimulate our compassion. That is concentration meditation. We need mindfulness state. Okay. Awareness of other people, other beings suffering, right here in front of you. And your heart is moved to act in such a way that to alleviate their suffering. Is a kind of empathy. There is a Buddha saying, this is through mindfulness, everyone tremble at the stick. For all of them life is dear. Comparing oneself with others, one should not hurt or have them hurt. From Dhammapada. Compassion. Empathy. Compare oneself with others. So that reflect the golden rule in all religions, in all morality, faith. Treat others as you would like others to treat you. From compassion. Do not treat others in ways that you would not like to be treated. Empathy, meditation, awareness. So I would say that compassion plus love, it becomes compassionate love. I quote from the Buddha saying, I visit all quarter with my mind, not found any dearer than myself, sell it dear to every other. He who loves himself will never harm another. See? Love is the bottom of your mind. If you love someone, you never harm. You don't harm because of your compassion, but love is there. There is a relationship between love and compassion in Buddhism. So I would say that metta is selfless love. Karuna is compassion in a full sublime state of mind. They are inseparable. Karuna requires metta, translated as loving kindness, which is loving kindness. Metta is unconditional love and benevolence that seeks well-being and happiness of all beings without discrimination. So agape. Agape consists of two aspects. One is unconditional love. Another is sympathy, mercy. Both unconditional or selfless love and mercy are encompassed in the concept of agape. Whereas in Buddhism, selfless love is metta. Compassion or mercy is karuna. But they have to develop together. Starting with loving kindness. On the ground of loving kindness, which has the promotion of welfare of other beings as its characteristic, whereas karuna or compassion has the removal of suffering of other beings as its characteristic. In meditation practice, if you focus on lovable aspect of other being, is metta. Selfless love. If you focus on suffering state of other people, is karuna, compassion. So both metta, loving kindness, and karuna, compassion together form a pair of virtues that seem to embody the Christian concept of agape, which refers to unconditional love and mercy, sympathy. That's the point that I would like to bring home here for you to further discuss. Thank you very much.